9.65.
There's a new one-shot treatment for ear infections. We'll tell you about the drug and its drawbacks. Hello, Iowa.
More snow, and it's headed this way. I'll have the forecast. Hello, Iowa.
He's in the movie Jerry Maguire, he's on a weekly TV show, and he wants to be a baseball star. We'll tell you more about this 6-year-old's career on The Buzz. Hello, Iowa. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hello, Iowa. Let's first get a check of tonight's big story with Sandy.
Thanks, Amy. Tonight's big story, it was a friendlier, gentler crowd that listened to the governor this morning in his Condition of the State address. Friendlier because for the first time in more than 10 years, there is a majority of Republicans in both the House and the Senate. One thing on the governor's wish list, he hopes to be heard all the way to Washington.
For technology investments for our region's institutions and community colleges. I'm also recommending this legislature should adopt a resolution calling on Congress to pass the balanced budget amendment. And when it passes, we should be among the first states to ratify.
The governor says the state's economy is on the mend and it's time to cut taxes to make the state more competitive. KGAN News Channel 2's Karen Hoskins was in Des Moines getting a reaction to the governor's speech. She joins us now from the newsroom with more on the story. Karen, what are lawmakers saying about the governor's priorities this year?
Well, Sandy, as you might expect, the response I got from lawmakers was split pretty much down party lines. Republicans are enthused about having control in both the House and the Senate this year, and they're anxious to have their party's name attached to popular initiatives like tax cuts.
There's nothing that we can do more to help grow our state than cut Iowans' income taxes by 10 to 15%, and I'm very confident that we'll get that through this year.
Meantime, some Democrats say it's time to deliver the tax relief Iowans want, but they're not very enthusiastic about the governor's approach.
I applaud the governor for suggesting tax cuts. However, I would rather see regressive taxes cut first and then the progressive income tax.
Both Republicans and Democrats I spoke with say they're supportive of increased funding for schools. The governor is also asking for a 10% increase in starting teacher salaries, a proposal that drew wide applause from his audience this morning. I'll have more on the governor's speech, his priorities, and response from lawmakers and constituents coming up tonight at 6. Sandy?
Thanks, Karen. This is Branstad's 14th year in office. In today's speech, Mr. Branstad jokingly said he's been around so long, many people think his first name is Governor. Along with tax cuts and a crackdown on juvenile crime, the governor is asking Iowans to focus attention on education. Governor Branstad wants to expand the Iowa Communications Network and raise starting pay for teachers. And he'd like to see more community involvement and volunteerism in the schools, an idea that has already taken off in Waterloo, as Shiloh Woolman reports.
Who are you going to call? You going to call me? Okay.
Waterloo schools have been calling on senior citizens to volunteer their time for several years. So when Rosemary Anderson retired from AEA 7 last year, she decided to add her skills to the pool of volunteers.
I draw on my background as a mother, as a parent, and certainly with the experiences I've had in the classroom.
Rosemary has time to read to these students, talk, and listen.
Every time I read a book, she says thank you. And we just play together outside.
Our older citizens have so much to contribute. They've raised children, they've had jobs, they've been out in the world. Our kids need someone to care about them, to be interested in them.
Governor Terry Branstad put out the call to older Iowans in his Condition of the State address, saying they have the time and knowledge to put Iowa's school children on the right track. He's asking Iowans to get involved, be mentors.
If we all think back in our lives, we probably know of that individual that really made an impact in our lives, someone that cared, that took the time. And that's really what a mentor is.
I think I get more from doing it than they get from me.
Waterloo schools have been building their volunteer programs for decades and now have hundreds of people, young and old, giving their time. The volunteer coordinator did tell me, though, that while the governor's idea for more volunteers is a good one, he'll have to allot some state money in order to pay for their rewards and proper training. Live in the Blackhawk County newsroom, I'm Shiloh Woolman for KGAN News Channel 2.
Can't say enough about those volunteers. Thanks, Shiloh. 75 workers at Cedar Rapids Cryovac plant are out of a job. Plant manager Mike Henderson says the company is reallocating business among several plants across the country, and as a result, the Cedar Rapids plant was overstaffed. A statement issued by the company says that the Cedar Rapids plant will continue to play an important role in the company's future. The plant manufactures plastics for packaging in the food industry. After the layoff, 300 people will remain employed at Cedar Rapids Cryovac plant. Apparent carbon monoxide poisoning sent more than a dozen employees of Benco Manufacturing in Belle Plaine to the hospital Sunday night. University Hospitals in Iowa City says several people were treated in the hyperbaric chamber, and the situation was not life-threatening for any of the workers. Benco is now installing monitoring equipment to make sure a similar situation does not occur in the future. If you're looking for some help in housing, the City of Cedar Rapids says it's time to sign up. Beginning January 27th, the Cedar Rapids Housing Authority will be accepting applications for leased housing. Anyone who meets family and income guidelines is eligible. The program allows you to find a home, then provides certificates for financial assistance.
We only have so many available units as far as certificates for the families. So this is by no means an indication that they'll be getting help right away. It could be a long time before they're given assistance, but the first thing they have to do is get on the waiting list.
Again, that sign-up begins January 27th in the basement of City Hall. If you have any questions, your next step is to contact the housing office at 398-5037. Some shuffling and some downsizing at the Limited could cost some employees their jobs. The Columbus, Ohio-based company says it's closing 200 stores nationwide. The company says sales have been weak at Limited Express stores across the country. No word yet on which stores will be closing their doors. Winter's icy grip continues to cancel hundreds of flights, and it's closing schools, roads, and businesses in several states. In downtown Houston, ice is falling from the skyscrapers, posing a danger to the people on the streets and sidewalks below. The frigid weather continues and is being blamed for at least 13 deaths in Texas. In Arizona, police and snowplow crews are trying to reach dozens of snowbound motorists. And those are tonight's big stories. Now let's turn to meteorologist Dave Town for your no-wait forecast.
Yes, it's true. We have more wintry weather in our forecast for eastern Iowa. In fact, another round of light snow should be passing over eastern Iowa later on tonight as temperatures drop to around 10 degrees. Tomorrow we'll see more snow. There's also a winter storm watch. We'll tell you more about that later on, but the high temperature should be around 24 degrees. Across Iowa now, our temperatures are milder than they have been the last couple days. 13 in Cedar Rapids and also at Waterloo. The reading is 12 from Dubuque, 18 degrees over at the state capitol. Roads are reported to be 25 to 50% snow and ice covered over the northwestern, north central, and northeastern counties. Blowing snow is a problem up here tonight, but the rest of Iowa has pretty good driving conditions at the present time. But another round of snow has already moved into western Iowa. That's moving eastward, so we'll see more of that later tonight. That's your no-wait forecast.
Okay, winter continues. Thanks, Dave. In tonight's Eye on Health, if you're a parent, chances are good you know all about ear infections. Normally, they can be treated with antibiotics that are taken twice a day for 10 days. But did you know there's another cure that's literally a one-shot treatment? KGAN News Channel 2's Paul Anderson has more on the drug and its drawbacks.
Little Marissa Adams is in for her 3-year checkup. One area that's examined closely is her ears, as the doctor looks for an ear infection. Marissa had that problem about a year ago, and her mother treated it with antibiotics.
The problem with the antibiotics is parents have to give them to the kids twice a day for 10 days. But there is a drug called Rocephin that requires only 1 dose, much easier for the parents and for the kids. And now a new study shows that Rocephin is very effective. But will the parents use it?
If it was very effective, it maybe would weigh into the decision, but I still think that I would probably personally stick with the antibiotic amoxicillin.
Doctors warn there are some drawbacks to Rocephin, especially if it's used too often.
Our concern about overusing that is that it will create some pressure on the germs to learn to live with it so that they won't be susceptible any longer.
Shots of Rocephin also cost $60, up to 5 times the price of other antibiotics, and it can also cause diarrhea. According to Dr. Anderson, the shots are useful when a child can't swallow medicine, but he says new reports showing how effective Rocephin is won't encourage him to prescribe it more often. Paul Anderson, News Channel 2, Cedar Rapids.
This study Paul mentioned appeared yesterday in the journal Pediatrics. It was conducted at the Boston University School of Medicine.
Many teenagers say it's time to give Joe Camel and other cigarette ads the boot. A survey for the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids finds that teens believe the ads are targeted toward them, and they say they support federal regulations to curb such advertising.
In tonight's Eye on Lifestyle, guess who tops Mr. Blackwell's 37th annual list of worst dressed women? Dennis Rodman, the cross-dressing basketball star. Rodman is followed by a list that includes Glenn Close, Helen Hunt, and Goldie Hawn. I'd say that Dennis Rodman probably deserves that one.
Yeah, really no surprise there.
No, none at all.
An Eastern Iowa community debates the merits of all-day kindergarten.
The story's next when you come back to your news station, KGAN News Channel 2.
You're watching Hello Iowa at 5 with Amy Johnson, Sandy Riesgraf, and your backyard weather with Dave Town. KGAN News Channel 2, your news station.
Hello, Iowa. Now you're watching too.
Cooper's Mill and your news station, KGAN News Channel 2, are teaming up to send you to see Herky the Hawk in action February 15th. You'll also receive a fun pack of Hawkeye stuff. Herky entry forms to color are at Cooper's Mill, KGAN, or you can draw one of your own. Send your entry to KGAN News Channel 2, then watch for it during KGAN this morning. The big winner will be announced February 13th. Stop by Cooper's Mill and get coloring. You could be going to the game, courtesy of your news station, KGAN News Channel 2.
Don't battle with a weary old troublesome garage door. Call Adams Door Company to replace your old door with a Rainer showcase door. For safety, security, and convenience, call Adams Door Company.
The good life.
Probably the best thing about our pricing is our customers will tell other customers to come to Goods.
The good life.
You've got to go to Goods, not just for the selection, but because of their prices. They know that every day it's marked down.
The good life.
People shop and they compare. Customers tell me all the time how much they save. Day in and day out, our prices are great.
The good life.
And now some baby talk from Success by 6.
I worry about this guy. My grandfather sits around a lot, playing solitaire, looking bored. He should try being a volunteer at my daycare center. We need people to help out, to play with us, give us snacks, and help our teachers. My friends and I are experts at keeping grown-ups busy. Grandpa could tell us his famous stories, and believe me, we could teach him a thing or two.
Sponsored by Telecom USA and Mercy Medical Center.
If your preschooler will be enrolling in elementary school next fall, listen up. 4 more schools in the Iowa City School District may be switching to all-day, everyday kindergarten. News Channel 2's Tammy Soapy joins us now live from our Johnson County newsroom with more. Tammy?
Amy, the school board will consider all-day kindergarten for students at Penn, Lemmy, Shimmick, and Wickham Elementaries at tonight's meeting. The district hopes to convert all its kindergarten classrooms to full-day curriculums by the fall of '98. So far, 9 schools have made the switch, including Coreyville Central.
They're very ready to get into the full day of first grade next year. It's a real easy adjustment for them because a lot of the little details about lunch and recess and taking care of yourself all day, we work hard on that during the all-day program.
Teachers say an all-day format makes sense for families with 2 working parents, and they say that kids are also more secure in an all-day routine. Reporting live in the Johnson County newsroom, Tammy Stolpe, KGAN News Channel 2.
Makes sense. Thanks, Tammy. The school board will meet tonight at 7:30 to discuss all-day kindergarten. They're expected to reach a decision on the schedule changes later on this year.
And here are tonight's headlines from the KGAN News Channel 2 newsroom. He served as a Lynn County recorder for 30 years. Now Pat Kane says he plans to step down. Kane says he's giving up his post for health reasons, but does not elaborate. His resignation becomes effective February 15th. The defense in the wrongful death trial of O.J. Simpson has rested its case, but the plaintiffs have launched a rebuttal by calling a freelance photographer who vouches for 30 pictures of Simpson's. The pictures reportedly show Simpson wearing the same type of shoes as the killer of Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman. And those are tonight's headlines. Dave Town's forecast is next on your news station, KGAN News Channel 2.
It's lunch.
Well, you couldn't hear them, but I think that some of the pages at the State House in Des Moines were trying to say hello to us. So hello back at you. We heard you spiritually.
Yeah, good group down there. And Dave Town is out on the weather patio. Dave, can you hear us now?
Are you playing
just
around
kidding,
with us?
Just kidding.
I knew he was going to do that.
You know, the door is open. It's freezing in here.
We're freezing.
And I can't imagine. What's it like outside right now?
It's not too bad. I think we've all become accustomed to the cold weather here the last couple days, but will you be accustomed to more snow? Yes, we have that in the forecast, and then we have even colder temperatures in the forecast. So we have winter continuing, of course, as we winds blowing the snow around. Light snow tonight, temperatures from 8 to 10 degrees, so not really that cold. South winds at 8 to 15 miles per hour. Outlook for tomorrow, well, there's a winter storm watch late in the day for eastern Iowa. It's more valid for the western counties during the daytime hours. Temperatures in the 20s early, northwest winds at 10 to 18. But as we move into tomorrow night, dangerous travel due to the snow that will fall. In fact, 2 to 4 inches may come out of this storm, but northwest winds at 20.
I'd go not just to see him, though.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Still ahead, Waterloo Church is doing its part to help those in need. We'll have the good news.
And we'll say welcome home to Elkport, Elkader, and Elk Run Heights. To your news station, KGAN News Channel 2.
Mother Nature and her winter
Where it's not balmy for another look at tonight's forecast.
It's cold enough in here David Letterman could work in
That's
here.
right.
We love it.
And it's cold in the forecast here through the evening, but not actually too bad. Temperatures in the teens with 12 in Lynn County, 13 degrees in Johnson County. Some light snow redeveloping. It's currently over along Interstate 35. Southeast winds at 5 to 15. Enjoy the weather. It gets colder and windier tomorrow.
Yeah, when it started snowing at about 1 this afternoon, I thought, uh-oh, we're in for it again. But
That was the first piece of this storm.
okay.
Spring's a long ways away.
About 90 days.
Thanks, Dave. Well, if you or your family desperately need clothes, but you can't afford them, a Waterloo church can help, and it's tonight's good news. New Life Christian Ministry is offering free clothes Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Organizers say the program's in its 4th year, and it's available to anyone.
Well, our desire here is to help people that are in need without any type of restrictions, no referrals. Just that if they have a need, the only thing that we ask is they only take what they can use.
The church is located at 1427 Jefferson Street in Waterloo. Pastor Holmes says you can also donate clothes at that location. It's a nice effort.
Yeah, a lot of things people could use this time of year when it's this cold.
No kidding.
And that's Hello Iowa for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
We'll see you back here tonight for KGAN News Channel 2 at 6.
Good night.
Thanks, Eastern Iowa, for watching KGAN News Channel 2. We're proud to be your news station. Find out what's coming up.